I slept with another woman on a break and now my wife is changed. I am not the original poster. That poster has now deleted their account. They posted on r true off my chest. I currently have the post marked as inconclusive because he deleted his account. But it is somewhat concluded. Thank you to you, Burnt Toast, for the recommendation. Mood spoiler. Oof. Less than. Original post. December 10th, 2023. My wife and I, both 40, have been together for 15 years. The past 3 years were turbulent and we fought all the time until about a year ago when we decided we needed a time apart or separate. We chose the first option. The first period we went no contact at all, but then we started texting, then meeting for lunch, etc. Dates. We talked about the problems. I felt miserable without her and I hope she did too because I missed her every day. The problems that we always fought about. The mundane stuff were so trivial now, and we talked about how our issues were really non-issues. She said she loved and missed me so much and I felt so much relief that she felt the same way, so I confessed that I was miserable without her and how our problems were nothing compared to not being with her. We made a plan to reconcile and a month ago she moved back home. Before we separated, we discussed what we are allowed to do during our separation. She said that she didn't want to sleep with others, but that I was free to do it because we will be legit separated and she doesn't have a right to decide over me while we aren't a couple. I slept twice with a colleague of mine. It wasn't good and I regretted it, so I ended it. It basically wasn't worth it. When my wife moved back, she asked me if I did something. She didn't. I told her the truth and she was silent for a while and then said that it was fair enough and not cheating because we already discussed the possibility. Since we have talked about it, she has been distant. She says that she is happy and that she missed home, and I too missed her, and I haven't been this happy, but I don't know. When I ask her, she says she's fine and not to worry. But I don't know. I have caught her crying a few times, but she says it is the news and the world's condition. My wife is wild in bed and I usually don't need to do much to put her in the mood. Now she doesn't react to my touch and sometimes we try for a long time, but she says she can't and starts crying. I don't know how to solve this. I don't know if I'm imagining things, but even a hug or a kiss, I felt her going rigid in my arms, but she insists it's nothing and just that she isn't in the mood or tired. I miss her warmth. Relevant comments. What if your wife slept with other people? Thank you, Madoc, for finding this one. The thing is, that's why I discussed this subject with her before we separated. I was terrified that she would sleep with other people because I know my wife to be the kind that wants an emotional connection before getting physically attracted. I had nightmares about it, so I needed to ask to see what we were expected to do during the separation. I don't need any emotional connection to sleep with others. I regret it, but I told myself that we have agreed to this. I feel that I have cheated seeing her reaction now, no matter if we had agreed on this or not. So the sex wasn't good with the coworker, so you decided to end it? I didn't mean the sex wasn't good. The whole thing wasn't good because it wasn't what I wanted. This comment from a different user summed up the comment section pretty well. It wasn't technically cheating. Yep. He killed the relationship. Just because it's voluntary manslaughter and not premeditated murder doesn't make it any less dead. Mini update in comments. December 11th, 2023. Next day. Thank you everyone for listening. I have tried to speak to my wife this evening. I asked her for a walk. She is not fine with what happened. She started crying immediately when I tried talking to her. She said that she didn't know if she ever will forget or forgive. What surprised me is that she seemed to put the blame on herself. She said it was all her fault because she started this whole separation idea and then agreed to me sleeping with others, like she tricked me somehow, and now she wasn't fine with what she agreed upon. She apologized and said that she knew she was being unfair but that she couldn't help how she felt. Now, I tried to explain that it wasn't her fault at all, but I'm not sure she is convinced because she keeps saying that it was all her fault and that she is being unfair. I don't know what to do. I can't see her broken like this. Update post. December 17, 2023. 1 week from Og post. She said that she couldn't do this anymore and she apologized because she believes that it was all her doing because she felt like she tricked me and gave me permission that she then couldn't keep. And now everything is ruined because of her and that I had all the reasons to hate her. But I don't hate her. I hate myself very much, but I would never hate her. She is the love of my life and I regret everything, including the break and the small stupid stuff that made us fight and take that break. She moved into a hotel. We decided to wait about telling our families until after the holidays because our broken hearts are enough. We don't need to break their hearts too. I just don't know what to do. I have lost everything. This is my update for you who asked. I'm sure you will find it satisfactory given the amount of hate you given me on my original post. People fascinate me, and I will never understand them. I think the fact that it was a colleague and not some rando made it worse for OOP's wife. Because it was someone he already knew for some time. She's probably worried he was always thinking about sleeping with her. Yeah, I mean being free to do something, per usual, comes with consequences. I remember this guy. The comment that really chapped me was him responding that he would 100% not be okay with his wife sleeping with someone else during their break. Yet he kept acting passively clueless about why his wife was having trouble with him sleeping with someone else. OP deleted their account, but not each comment. Here's his comment. The thing is, that's why I discussed this subject with her before we separated. I was terrified that she would sleep with other people because I know my wife to be the kind that wants an emotional connection before getting physically attracted. I had nightmares about it, so I needed to ask to see what we were expected to do during the separation. I don't need any emotional connection to sleep with others. I regret it, but I told myself that we have agreed to this. I feel that I have cheated seeing her reaction now. No matter if we had agreed on this or not. The voluntary manslaughter comment sums it up so well. Chef's kiss. If I remember this guy's original comment, his wife said she was not going to see anyone else, but he was free to do whatever he wanted. He then almost immediately took advantage of a coworker who thought he was divorcing. He hated her and the sex, but still went back and did it again. So yeah, he's still a massive tool. Isn't this an episode of Friends? Not gonna lie. If I was separated with my wife but with the intention to mend the marriage, I'm not sleeping with anyone else at all until the separation becomes long-term and more like going through the motions of getting to a divorce. It's just not worth it, and what it will likely do to change marriage, even if already mended from any previous issues. What's worse is it was a colleague he would be seeing frequently. The guy is a hypocrite and clueless. Especially after his comment about not being okay with her if she did it. Honestly, she deserved better than him. The dildo of consequences arrived unannounced for OOP. And it arrived lube-free. I'm curious to know what other issues they were having to cause the initial separation. I'd bet good money he put his wants before her feelings on a regular basis. I feel bad for the wife. She learned an important life lesson. She thought he loved her enough to not sleep with anyone else, even though she supposedly gave permission. I say supposedly because in the comments he said he was not okay with her sleeping with anyone else during the separation, so I wonder if she really agreed to him being able to sleep with other women. Or she was manipulated, forced into that decision. The fact that he slept with a coworker, someone he knew and likely interacted with frequently before the separation, is another red flag emo. Lessons learned. Breaks don't work. Communication is key. And as always, just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Sleeping with a colleague means there was always a bit of attraction to begin with. I technically didn't do anything wrong when I cleaned out your fridge and ate everything. You technically told me to grab anything I wanted. Oop. Getting kicked out of his friend's apartment after his divorce. Just because you can do something, doesn't mean you should. Technicalities are not how real-life interactions work. Sure, she said he could, but imagine immediately going out there and doing it with someone else, like having the impulse control of a toddler. I mean, could have jacked off or something and waited till the thing was final to move on and have sex. I also would have forgiven him if he phrased it in such a way that you know he was in the low of the lows and that he got drunk and hooked up with a random woman, but he had to go straight to his coworker. Yikes. There are no breaks in relationship. You are either in relationship or you are not. You can spend time alone from each other, but that's about it. It's Rachel Ross situation all over again. His wife was loyal to him despite them being separated and hoped he would be the same. He just realized he should have been loyal when he worked out that the grass isn't greener on the other side. All parties were lying to themselves. The wife okaying the sleeping part during the separation. Big mistake. The husband saying that she is the love of his life. Stop the cap, bro. If she was, then he wouldn't have slept with another woman twice. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. BestofRedditorUpdates is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.